Let's take a good look at Nouri al-Malki's background to try and help us understand that much of the current crisis in Iraq really goes to the heart of the Iraqi government itself. And let's take us away from, therefore, the blame game of looking at Bush or Obama, and instead at the rise of this individual and the political forces he represented. Nouri al-Maliki was middle class. He was born in the Shia part of Iraq, and he came from a family that was a nationalist family that had been involved as early as 1920 in resisting the British arrival into power in Iraq. So his family had a long background. He was well educated, and he quickly became involved in the rise of the Dawa Party, which was an armed Islamist Shia militia group and political pressure group by the late 1960s. While in college, he continued in these activities. Eventually, that comes to the attention of Saddam Hussein and his minions. Saddam was running a Sunni-dominant system. He rose to power out of the secret police. And by 1979, al-Maliki is sentenced to death by Saddam for the perceived and probably actual subversive activities of the Dawa Party. So he has to flee Iraq, and he's going to be on the run for some time. Jordan, Syria, and significantly spent time in Iran, where he developed a number of close relationships which would help him eventually when he does come to power. And then he returns to Syria, where he directs guerrilla activities from the Shia against the Saddam Hussein's government. When the United States invasion takes place in 2003, unsurprisingly, the various opposition groups come in to Iraq and begin vying for power. In the Shia world, there were two main groups, the Dawa Party and Muqtada al-Sadr's armed militia, and they were rivals contesting for power. Chaos descends when there is a de-Baathification campaign by the American occupation, which effectively removes all Baath Party members from any kind of governmental positions. The army is disbanded, the police are disbanded, 60% unemployment takes place, chaos descends, and in that midst, the Dawa Party is able to help it rise to power. There was no one left really could run a government because the Baath were almost all Sunni. So it was a wide open, chaotic mess. And by 2006, al-Maliki has risen to power through his party in parliament to become prime minister. He's aided in this because Bush administration officials saw in him someone who was malleable, probably without political ambition, and therefore they could work with him. They were wrong on both counts.